everybody, this is Sunshadow Tarot, and it's time for another celebrity tarot reading. And this time we're going to do Johnny Depp. And I am not a super fan of Johnny Depp. I'm going to leave all the real deep interpretations to the super fans. I'm a fan. Of course, I think he's incredibly talented, very interesting career, one of the most popular actors we have right now, and so I think this is going to be quite fascinating. Of course, he was in the news, and of course, everybody knows something about what was going on. Hard to avoid. But I'm going to try and keep it as unbiased as possible. The way I'm going to do this is first I'm going to do a career set of readings, and then I'm going to do his love and relationship reading. So stick around for that. Okay? All right, so one more shuffle of the cards here. We'll get into it. Okay, Johnny Depp. We have Seven of Swords, King of Swords, Page of Wands, Four of Swords, Ace of Cups, Emperor, Ten of Cups, Nine of Swords, Five of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. We'll start with this. Like I said, there's going to be a number of things that I'm going to do here. Okay, so it looks like as far as career goes, we have the Seven of Swords. Certainly, from what everybody knows, I mean, it's no secret that his career was kind of, even though he makes a ton of money and nobody can doubt his talent, certainly his career took a downward spiral with all the court cases and the scandal. So he really had to sort of pick up what he could, almost steal away with whatever was left. I mean, there was a lot of doubt there, especially around the court case, whether his career would survive at all if that was the end. So certainly he made off with a bit of a win there. So that certainly relates to reality. King of Swords crossing him. Again, I don't know all the specifics and people that are intimately involved in his life, but this could be a force to be reckoned with that is crossing him. Now, of course, there is talk. I mean, everybody knows whether he's going to do the Disney movies again or not. I mean, what kind of projects he's going to get after all this scandal or not. So this could be the force of maybe some very heavy-hitting directors, producers, Hollywood executives who are crossing his path, either for good or for evil. I hate to use the word evil, but either positive or negative. I would say from the Page of Wands here, the offers are there. I mean, future looks bright. We're looking forward. We're having Wands is fire. Wands is motion, even though this is not necessarily in motion right now. Let's make sure you can see that. But certainly, we have a bit of an offer there. I'll make sure these cards are straight. Okay, now, the Four of Swords here. Certainly, there was because of this court case, these court cases, there was a lot of repose, not even repose, it was just his career came to pretty much a standstill. It was almost like a death knell. As you can see here, I mean, this usually means, just a standstill or sleep or whatever, but this is about as close as you can get to a career death, as you can imagine, without it actually spiraling down that way. So that certainly rings true. And again here, offers. So there is definitely offers. The career, I would say, is very prone to come back, and come back quite strong. The Emperor here shows that he's going to be in a position of power again. He's a very powerful actor, no doubt. His career, his talent sort of locks that in. That if there is no real scandal around him, then there's no doubt how much power he potentially could wield again in Hollywood. I would think the sky's the limit. It's endless as to what he could potentially do. I mean, he's got more than likely decades more of acting ahead of him, and potential roles. He may not have even, may not have even acted in his greatest role yet. That certainly could be ahead of him, and I would say that he's going to be entering into any negotiation in definitely a position of power. Once he just regains his footing, all it would take is just one new movie success, and he's going to be right back on top, and that nobody's going to be able to doubt that. Certainly, I am sure, after all these court cases, very happy. I'm sure the family members that he has good relationships with are happy, and his friends are probably happy. So all in all, he's probably living a pretty good life right now at the moment. Environmentally, I mean, there is always that doubt. Is he going to be able to do this again? Is he going to be able to bring his career back, kind of gangbusters again? I'm sure that there is always a bit of doubt hanging over that. Once again, here, he was sort of stealing away with what he could get, and now emotionally picking up the pieces. This is a very, very hard road we're talking about, in very, very toxic relationships, maybe even toxic career relationships. Everything sort of blends with Johnny Depp. It's sort of everything sort of spills over from the personal into the career. So we have a bit of a dark cloud that we're trying to pick up and move along, pick up the pieces from a battle. This was a tremendous battle, and he didn't get away entirely without loss. There certainly was a lot of loss here. This was a battle, that you fight and you win, but you're hurt. You're absolutely hurt. There's some wounds here. There's some scars here from everything that has happened career-wise. He did not come out pristine. He did not come out completely whole. There's going to be a contingent of people, who still blame him, who still don't believe him, who are uncomfortable around him. Things aren't exactly the way they were. So he's going to have to pick up the pieces and sort of reprove himself into this new chapter in his life. And here we have the Seven of Cups. Now, this is an interesting card because it is a card of kind of this pie in the sky dreams. So he himself may have these kind of glorified ideas of how it's all going to come back. And that may or may not be the case. So time will probably tell on that. It's going to, I would think, to be not the easiest road to come back entirely. So let's get into that a little bit more. All right? How do you feel about Johnny Depp? How do you feel about how his career has gone, and what do you think, where do you think the career should go next? Do you think he should continue to do the Disney movies if he was offered the part of Captain Jack Sparrow again? Do you think he should just do something completely different and move away from that? Do you think that he should just stay a musician with the Hollywood Vampires and not do movies at all anymore? So, what are your feelings? Have you been a fan of his for his entire career? So, at first I didn't really know too much about him. I only really knew him later on, and I'm sort of discovering his career slowly, going back and looking at certain movies. Okay, let's take a look here. Still on the career of Johnny Depp. Let's make sure. Get the cards in here. Ace of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Swords. All right, just trying to make sure this lines up here. Camera's a little bit crooked. There we go. Okay. So it's, again, we're seeing the offers. We're seeing him try to make the best of it. But he may be a little bit reluctant. I mean, the man has money. He doesn't have to do anything right now. He could just hang out and play guitar for the rest of his life and be very, very happy. He would still be an incredibly wealthy man. He would have had a career that most actors would absolutely envy. He doesn't have to do anything. So he could just sit tight and wait for the right offer. This doesn't look like a lot of movement right now, even though there may be some talk, maybe some offers. We'll see. Let's get into this a little bit more. We have the Eight of Swords, Three of Swords, and Ten of Pentacles. Again, I would say there was a lot of emotional turmoil about this last relationship and about what happened to him from a public standpoint and from a personal standpoint. There is a lot of hurt that he has to heal from. Yes, he has money. Yes, he has estates and cars and anything that anybody could dream of. But that doesn't necessarily help with somebody who is hurting emotionally. So I think this may take time to heal. He may feel still very trapped. He might want to change his career a little bit, maybe tweak his career a little bit for the next phase of it, and still may be trapped, maybe feel, Captain Jack Sparrow was a fantastic role of a lifetime. But there could also be some feelings of being typecast, pigeonholed, is that all you can do kind of thing. Of course we know that's not all he can do, but you know how brutal and vicious some Hollywood people can be. You know how brutal and vicious and sort of close-minded certain directors and agents can be. Oh, you're a pirate, you can't do more than that. So we'll see. Let's see what else is here. We have the Two of Wands, the Fool, the Hierophant. All right, well, back to that. I would think he's in a situation now where he's probably taking his time, really taking his time to assess what's going on. Really wants to take a good look at the past and the present and the future. And that if he goes into his next phase, he might want to take a little bit of a risk. He may want to step out, do something a little bit sensational, because he certainly knows how Hollywood operates. He knows the ins and outs. He knows exactly what's expected of him. He knows what the status quo is. This is the Hierophant. But he also has a lot of hidden knowledge. Having been in the business for so long, having worked on so many movies, that is an incredible wealth of inside knowledge and, knowing how the mechanics of this operate and knowing what, he's a rocker at his heart. He's a shock rocker. So he knows if he's going to do something, it's got to kind of pull out everything and it has to be over the top. The next thing he does kind of just can't be the same old thing. I'm sure there's a part of him that will deliver on that, what people expect, like the Disney movies or something, if he gets a chance. But really, the next phase has got to be like, wow, oh wow, Johnny Depp is back. So it's probably going to take a little bit of reflection, but also looking ahead for something really spectacular. And here we have the World here. So, yeah, we may be looking at something spectacular. Here's this King of Swords again. And the Star, of course. Johnny Depp is the star, right? So the World, the Star, and then there's this guy. Who's this guy? This guy may be the key to that big comeback. That's really, really very interesting. So maybe he's in talks with a director right now that is really going to pull out all the stops for him and give him the project that he really needs to come back. The Devil, wonderful card for Johnny Depp. The Four of Wands and the Tower. Woo-hoo-hoo. Wow, interesting. That's pretty hot. Look at that. So, is this saying that there's another shoe to drop here? Is there some other scandal, or is the world going to drop out? Maybe there is another relationship brewing or something. I want to look at this one a little bit more here. Does anything show up? Knight of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Chariot. That's fascinating. Again, slow moving. I mean, this is money. This could be another woman entering into his life. That's very possible. But this is a very slow moving scenario. And the Chariot here tells me that, he probably has it under control. But this is very, very interesting. This group of three right here, really fascinating. That is a very, very interesting project on the way. This also really, really intriguing. Wow, I think we are going to see something really hot from the Johnny Depp camp. Some really big project, and Johnny Depp is gonna be Johnny Depp here. Look at this. Johnny Depp is gonna be Johnny Depp. He's just not gonna leave it. It's not gonna be like, oh, I've got this great, fantastic new project, and it's all just gonna be wine and roses and money and accolades. No. We're gonna get this kind of rock and roll chaos that's gonna come with it. That's going to be very, very interesting. I don't think we have to worry about him, though, because the Chariot is here. Knight of Cups is here. I think that's all going to be balanced out. But certainly, it's going to be some kind of a wild ride. And that's going to be really, really fascinating. I'm going to do some oracle cards. Wow. That's really interesting. I hope it's nothing bad. I hope it's just regular old Johnny Depp chaos, which is what we can expect from him. Crystals, healing. Certainly, that's a very, very good card for him. Healing up after all this mess. Geomancy, patience. Again, as I'm telling you, this is a very slow decision. This is a very slow comeback. He's going to do this all at his own pace. Nothing is going to happen before he wants it to happen. Fortune cookie, fortuitous. Okay, that's a very cute card. I would say that this is going to be a good thing. Even though we're going to get this, this is going to be a good thing for him. This comeback, and it is going to be a little bit slow, so we may have to wait a year or two for this to really show itself as what it's really going to be. I think that's very, very interesting. Okay, so let's get into the love part of the reading here. So what do you think so far? How do you feel about this, Johnny Depp fans? Are you ready to buckle up? Are you ready for a bumpy ride? Because it looks like he's got a lot in store for you. And And certainly we want to know about who this mystery man is, who kind of holds all the cards to this star-studded comeback. You know, is it a director? Is it an agent? Is it somebody another actor he's collaborating with? That's really fascinating stuff. Let's split up the cards here. We want to make sure we get enough variation in this deck. You know what's funny is sometimes I am amazed when I shuffle the cards, sometimes I shuffle them for like off screen. For 5 minutes, I'll be shuffling cards. I'll just be looking around shuffling cards. And if I'm doing something like a money reading or a love reading, the same cards come up. It's like, wow. It's like, Spirit World, you really are trying to drill home a point. Isn't that funny? I think that's... Sometimes I can't contain myself behind these readings because I'm like, wow, sometimes I just have to laugh because it's so weird. All right, so we're thinking about Johnny Depp and his love relationships now. Okay, again, you see how shuffling these cards. Okay, all right. Johnny Depp, love relationship. 8 of Cups. Got that straight here? Okay. The Star. The High Priestess. Let's bring this down a little bit so we can see the cards. 3 of Swords. Well, I think we know what that means. Justice. Wow, wow, wow. 5 of Pentacles. 10 of Wands. Devil. Here we are. King of Pentacles. And 4 of Cups. Wow, I could do this reading blindfolded. Okay. This is crazy. Okay. 8 of Cups. Obviously, the whole love and romance thing may have left a bit of a bitter taste in his mouth at this point with this last relationship. I think he's perfectly capable, of starting anew, finding new romance for sure, but certainly wanting to leave what has just happened behind as fast as possible and wanting to leave it as far behind as he possibly can, because this certainly crossed it carried over, it affected his whole career, it affected his stardom. And nobody wants a relationship to affect their career. I mean, how many people have had something like they have a bad relationship? Okay, you have a bad relationship, but what happens when the boyfriend or girlfriend that you're having the bad relationship with, or the spouse you're having the bad relationship, starts to call work, or starts to show up at work, or interfere with work? That really gets crazy, and nobody wants that. And certainly this was about the most high-profile crossover from a romantic relationship into work as it could possibly get. So, I mean, people will be talking about the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard incident in Hollywood history for hundreds of years. Absolutely. This is going to be that case is going to be talked about for hundreds of years. There's no way that's ever going to escape him. Now, the high priestess. This is quite interesting. I want you to take a look at these two cards, the Justice card and the High Priestess card. Notice something? Okay, it's a figure, a seated figure, between two columns. So it's just fascinating how kind of one is the inner world and one is the outer world. So there's justice, there's guidance, there's kind of inner justice, inner knowledge, which is this, and the outer knowledge, the law. So it's just a very interesting balance as to how that appears here. Very, very fascinating. Again, Three of Swords. It can't be plainer as far as this being, a past position. What this really means to him. This was just a terrible, terrible incident. It hurt him in innumerable ways, with his family, his reputation, his career, his self-esteem. It just was a really heartbreaking thing. And I would say heartbreaking for a lot of people to watch. It was like a slow-motion car wreck. And, he's a beloved actor. And to see somebody go through this, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who empathized with it. Other people who have dealt with people who were narcissistic or whatever, and realized how paralyzed he was in certain situations. Or remember, when he was saying why he did stuff. He did stuff because he saw things his parents did, and he wanted either to be like that or he wanted to be the opposite of that. And and nothing that he was doing was the right decision. So it was very, very hard to watch because other people sort of felt along with him. I know when I was watching some of those court cases, I kept asking myself, well, what would I have done in that situation? Would I have been able to think of anything better to do? And a lot of times you say, no, I wouldn't have known what to do either. So very, very interesting. Again, justice can't be any clearer. Court cases, justice was served. Do you think justice was served in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard court cases? Do you think that justice was served to the fullest? Did you agree or disagree with what came out of that? Here we have the Five of Pentacles. Now, this is just, I think, still feels out in the cold. Still feels like, it's just, as far as when it comes to love, just not really exactly into it the way it was. It's probably going to take a long time to really get back into the groove of that thing, of a romantic relationship, kind of being head over heels for somebody, again, trusting that. Because when you burn that badly, it's, you lose, you kind of second guess yourself, and you wonder, should I trust myself or not? Do I know what I'm doing? Even as old as he is, I'm a very similar age, and it's, do you trust yourself? after all you think you know, and then this happens. Do you trust your judgment anymore? So it's very, very interesting, and you can see it is a burden. It definitely is a burden. This second guessing, this self doubt. You know, how you're going to heal your way out of this. You know, and environmentally, I'm sure, especially right now. I mean, there's a lot of women probably throwing themselves at him right now. So do you get involved? Do you not get involved? What type of person do you get involved with? There's a lot of questions. And there's probably a lot of temptations. Hollywood vampires, rock star. He's a rock star now. Not just an actor, he's a rock star. He's doing exactly what he always wanted to do. And, you know, what comes of that? You know, how do you get around that? And sure, you want to have fun. You want to live life to the fullest, you know, especially after all this. Think of all that pent up frustration that you just want to release, especially, you know, somebody of his caliber just wants to release it in kind of a really rock and roll way on tour, just getting it all out. And wow, you know, what could that develop into? Emotionally, King of Pentacles. I mean, come on, like I've told you, he's got all the money that he could possibly want. He's definitely got power. But, you know, he seems to be a pretty humble person, a pretty down to earth. So I don't think it's really going to go too much to his head. But, you know, it is there. And that's kind of a crazy thing. Again, here we have him not really, and when it comes to love, thinking about, isn't this interesting? He had 3 marriages. 3 cups there, right? 3 marriages. I think he'd had 3 marriages. So what's the next one going to be like? Is the next one, he's thinking, what's the next one going to be like? Is it going to be the same old thing? Or, you know, is he thinking, is the love still out there? Is it possible? Or is this just a fantasy? Is this just a dream at my stage in life? Is a real love of his life still out there? Very, very interesting. And I want to take a look at these cards here. This is a great reading, I think. Really hits home. I just love it. Okay, the card here is keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So maybe that soulmate really is out there for him. You know, hey ladies, maybe you have a chance. Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Come on now. Wow. Wow. How on the money, how nail on the head can you get? Because certainly he has addiction problems, just, you know, emotional addiction problems and addictions of drug-oriented and alcohol-oriented kinds. But, you know, I think the emotional ones are probably the hardest to heal from. This card, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. I think, yes, there is going to be somebody else in his life that is really going to make a difference. I think that there is a great possibility that something great is going to happen. All right, so this has been a very long and very interesting reading. It certainly is. We really got to the point very quickly and very strongly, and I'm really impressed with what source energy and the spirit world has brought us here. And this really is, this is a Johnny Depp reading for sure. So what do you think? How did this strike you? Do you agree, disagree? What do you think is in Johnny Depp's future? I'd really love to know, and I'd really love to know what kind of a super fan you are. Okay, so leave it in the comments, and if you like this reading, please subscribe. I'm going to do some more celebrity readings. I do daily readings, other kinds of readings. And like, comment, and share with your friends. Have a great, great day, and live that rock and roll life. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.